What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is finally a break in the bad weather here at the house, and for some reason all of the cars are outside. I don't know why, but today we're going to be talking about the sport track once again because that's what everyone watches this channel for, and we're going to talk about some stuff coming up on the wrap project. I haven't talked about the wrap in quite a while in detail, and that's what today's video is about the vinyl wrap for this thing. So what happened to it with that? Why is it taking so long? You guys know I bought vinyl over a year ago for this thing, and it's been sitting waiting for the right time. So what happened is, well, December happened. You guys know exactly what happened. This thing, transmission failed, caught on fire, that whole thing. Took about 6 months or so to get it fixed, and now it's home, and I've been kind of working on it a little bit at a time, trying to get it to the point where we can actually get to it, and then that time is coming up very soon. So what all needs to be done? There's a little bit of body work needs to be taken care of, and by a little bit I mean a decent amount of it. A little bit of just weird quirks this truck has had since I got it. So that's kind of our main focus, is mainly to get it prepped, and Michael and Hayden are also helping a lot out with this, so thankfully they're going to be giving me a lot of hands with this kind of stuff. They've offered to do some of the Bondo work for me and help me out with that, and Michael, of course, is doing the actual vinyl wrap. So what all needs to be fixed? There's a little bit of body work to be done, a little bit of surface rust to clean up this truck has, and some cosmetic changes. So first off, I'm gonna talk about what's going on. I am getting a new color. I have decided that I will be ditching the color that I have. I'll be revealing that at a later date once the new color is actually ordered. That way, if I change my mind last second, it's still a surprise. But yeah, currently at this moment, I've decided I am changing the color that I had, so that'll be revealed at a later date. And the main focus will be that new color. It's going to be a lot more simple to work with. It's going to be better material, which is the main reason why I'm changing, outside of just wanting to do something different than what I had originally planned. My original plan was to go with a specific color with the 3M 1080 material, so that's the only hint you guys are going to know about. It is a 3M 1080 wrap. Michael doesn't like the 1080 very much. It's a little bit harder to install, so I went ahead and decided to ditch that, and we're going to go with a 2080 wrap instead. It's going to have all the same features that Michael's Mazda has and Hayden's S2000 has, which is heat healing and all that stuff. So if someone like gives a light scratch to it and doesn't cut through the vinyl, it can be have a heat gun put to it and it heals it. So that's kind of one of our main things. It's also a little bit easier to install, especially in a gloss color. If we were doing satin, it wouldn't matter, but I want a gloss finish, so we're going to do that. That's the only other hint, is that it's a gloss finish and that it's a 3M vinyl of some sort. So on to the bodywork side. We don't have that much to do in the grand scheme of things. It's not like we have to repair any major like, you know, cracked parts or anything like that. It's all just minor bumps and scratches and surface rust, really. The surface rust is probably gonna be the hardest part about this whole thing. So let's get started to the front. This front bumper is chewed up. This happened, I know I've never talked about it before. That was my fault when I was 16. The house I lived at, you guys remember when I first started the channel, had a concrete wall. I tried to back around my mom's car because she thought I could get around it. Unfortunately, this thing has a bus turning circle, and it clipped the wall a little bit. And then of course this was on here when I got the truck. So a little bit of Bondo here should clean that up. A little Bondo here should clean this up, and it'll be fine and dandy. Of course, the gray cladding is permanently damaged, but this will be coming off altogether. The front plate will no longer be on. I think it got damaged. I think someone may have backed into it or something and bent it, because it was fine when I got it home, but then out of nowhere, the plate kind of sits forwards. I don't know what happened with that, or maybe I'm missing bolts. I really don't know. But the front plate holder is going to come off altogether. So eventually, the main goal is, the color I went with, we're going to get everything to match. So that's kind of our main goal. The hood. Okay, so moving on to the hood, we have a small bit of a little rust spot here. Nothing a quick little bit of Bondo can't fix. We need to realign it because it looks like it may have gotten hot and it actually moved. So this part is heavily visible, and the paint is goofed on that side. A couple other little pinhole rust spots here for surface rust. Clean that up, Bondo over it, no big deal. On the front, shouldn't be all that bad. Of course, the fenders are pretty clean, so there's nothing to worry about with those. The driver's side, I think, is the better of the two fenders, so this one shouldn't be that bad. Looks like we might have the beginnings of some surface rust spots right there. It might just be dirt. little tiny bit of surface rust right here, and I mean literally tiny. So I mean very minor stuff. The door, I am worried about this spot right here because this is heavily damaged. It appears before I got this was here when I got the truck, that someone attempted to break into it, and that's where this came from. We have some, but up here's the roof is my main concern. You see the paint's cracking here. We got some surface rust that runs pretty much along right here. And then this right here is another concern. I'm trying to figure out, this is the this is the thing I'm worried about the most, is the spot right here. Because this is gonna be hard to deal with. This, we can kind of deal with it. We just gotta be very careful because these are really hard to replace. This one's, I think it's this one or the other one's already chipped in one spot. And then of course we have another small rust spot here that can be cleaned up easily. The hardest part probably out of the entire process is going to be this dent. This is also caused by me right after my first accident. So back in 2016, you guys might remember that. Just drill that out, pull it back out, Bondo, whatever, should be fixable. Of course, this is probably the only part that if I have to replace anything, the tailgate probably be the one that has to get replaced. So shouldn't have to worry about that though. We should be okay. But just you know, general kind of thing. So the main thing is going to be that roof spot, because the paint is absolutely shot and has got lots of surface rust up here and all that. But that's really the worst of it, especially right here, this spot. So cleaning that up shouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it is going to prove to be a bit of a challenge in comparison to, you know, the Mazda and the Honda were for Michael and Hayden. But hopefully it'll be repairable and we'll be good to go. Like I said, the roof's the main spot I'm worried about, but Michael said he's not too concerned about it and that he thinks that we can probably clean it up pretty okay. I've talked to him about this a little bit. Granted, we haven't actually done like a full-on like quote or anything. I say quotes loosely, but you know, just kind of like a list of things we have to take care of. So that's kind of all the stuff that I've seen. But yeah, but outside of that, it's not going to be a hard process. I mean, we are trying to figure out what to do with these, whether we're going to wrap over these and like have the vinyl kind of stop and then wrap this separately, or if we're going to try to remove these all together, because you can actually take these off. The dilemma is though, is that I've heard conflicting things. Some people say underneath these is nothing and that they're just like glued on to the doors. And I've also heard that there is pinhole, there's small holes underneath here that you have to get welded over by a professional body shop. And I don't have that kind of money, so I may just try to see if Michael's okay with wrapping over these. I know he said he really doesn't want to, but I feel like it'd be easier and it would, you know, keep me from having to take these off and have to worry about getting them like either glued back on if they're not absolutely butchered. Because these, I believe these are plastic. Yeah, these are plastic. Or, you know, getting the holes welded over. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of what we're going to be looking at in terms of bodywork. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but it isn't going to be pleasant either. The cracked paint should be something that should be fixable with some Bondo. That back half though, where the paint's bubbled up on the back of the roof, is probably the biggest concern. Of course, once that's done, the roof rack is going back on. That'll be like one of the last things we take care of with this after the vinyl is actually laid, is putting the roof rack back on. And then of course we will be doing, I'm starting to question this third brake light again. I was reading, actually, ouch, that is a bad idea. I was reading on the forums just the other day about the water leak stuff and how, because it is a common problem with these trucks to have a water leak out of that third brake. And I was asking, I wasn't asking, but I was reading up, and that sometimes that even changing the gasket out, which is what I did last year or the year before that, doesn't always fix the problem. That you have to actually run a little bit of silicone on the bottom of the third brake light housing, and I could see where that could be a problem. So doing that may actually help that out a little bit, and putting the roof rack on will kill any bugs that may have been caused when I took it off. But it is starting to look more and more like that it is related to that third brake light. I can get the headliner replaced pretty easily, and then that'll be good to go. But it is a bit of a nuisance for sure. But yeah, that's all going to be taken care of here very soon. So we will get to do all that fun stuff here soon. But where it's going to be a long process, but the wrap is still coming, and it's going to be in a different color. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a really good look for the truck. So anyway, that is that. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content coming soon. If you have any tips for some of the stuff, because I know for sure that Michael and I have never dealt with this level of like the paint bubbling on the roof or anything like this right here. If you guys have any tips, if you guys are in the bodywork business and have any tips for us to go forward with, let us know what we can do about that and what would be the best way to go forward with this. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to stay subscribed for more content coming soon on this board track, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys.